Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Real Sport 101 proudly brings to you the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots Podcast! And as always, if you're not down with us, we got 2 words for ya. Keep listening. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ed Burkeen. I am your host for these festivities. And joining me, as always, he is the muscle of the podcast, future MMA champion and voice of all of Southeast Asia. He is the one, the only, the Jaime.
What's up, wrestling fans? Let's get it on.
And also joining me is my tag team partner, my arch nemesis, and my very best friend. You can hear him from around the world, but you can only find his good stuff right here. He is the real Danny D, Dan Dorrit.
What's up, everybody? It's the countdown. I am less than 3 weeks away from being at WrestleMania.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a huge show for us. The next time you hear us, it will be after WrestleMania, when we do our WrestleMania recap and preview into the following year, post-WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw, blah, 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 blah. But, more importantly, this is the last show for our calendar year. So, that is what's going on right now. So we are going to spend this last show of our calendar year breaking down the 11 announced matches for WrestleMania and possibly 2 more coming. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to ask you first. Let's hear from Jaime. What match are you most excited about?
Of course, it's going to be what's supposed to be the main event, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, the quote-unquote dream match.
Okay, Daniel.
Styles and Nakamura. We've seen it before, but I want to see it again. If you want me to go otherwise, I will say Flair and Asuka. I'm pretty excited for as well. I'll go a little off the books there. Homage to our old friend Alex, who was always interested in women's wrestling. I'm pretty excited for that. I think that's going to be a good match. I think that's something that both those ladies are going to get up for.
Absolutely. And Alex, if you're listening, we appreciate everything you did for us. We'll get to the man who started this show later on in the show, but you both are wrong, and let me tell you why. Because the main event for the show, as much as it should be AJ and that crapfest Nakamura, hot take by the way, it's going to be Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns because that's the match everybody wants to see. Roman Reigns is going to go to Suplex City. He's going to hit 4 Superman punches. I expect Paul Heyman to get hit at some point, and maybe Lesnar doesn't leave with the belt. I would say we could see a cash in here, but there's nothing to cash in on. I think this is going to be just a fantastic match. But let's talk about the match you guys like. AJ Nakamura. Why is this a dream match? It's already happened.
Yeah, it has happened. I mean, it's just something that they've teased on WWE for a while, and I think it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be the best technical match. I think this might be some of the best wrestling we see out of Nakamura since he's gotten caught up to the main roster. He has seemed to have really saved his body, and I'm hoping that we get Nakamura of old in this match, and that's what makes it most interesting for me.
So you're saying that this match is going to be a better technical display than Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Steph?
You're such a troll.
Jaime, why is this match important?
It's more for Nakamura than for AJ Styles because, the best of Shinsuke Nakamura got left behind in NXT in that Samoa Joe feud. So it's a chance for him to redeem himself. I hope he delivers. That's why I'm looking forward to this match because this might be the match that would make me buy into the Shinsuke Nakamura hype because I've always been an AJ Styles guy. It's Nakamura's turn to prove himself on the main roster.
I got another hot take for you too, Ed. Here's my little hot take. Winner of this match gets traded to Raw, and Roman comes to SmackDown.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I mean, I agree with you, but
I mean, I think it's time for AJ to go to Raw. So I think he loses this match.
So you're picking AJ Styles?
No, I was giving you a hot take.
You said the winner of the match goes to Raw.
Yeah, I know. That was my hot take. But I think Nakamura wins and AJ goes to Raw unless they throw a swerve at us. And the championships trade shows.
Fair enough.
Who do they trade back?
Roman, because seems like Brock's dropping the belt.
So
Brock should drop the belt.
Well, remember what was mentioned on last week's Raw. They are doing another superstar shakeup.
Yeah.
So maybe we see something there. I want them to bring back the draft. Like that was so much fun having, Vince McMahon and Ric Flair or Eric Bischoff and Teddy Long each having podiums on opposite sides of the stage and just
even the last draft they did was good.
Yeah, I mean, I think having Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan go out there and then they kind of face off against one another, fighting over who gets the first pick. I think it could be something fantastic. I'd watch that. Hell, they could even make a pay-per-view out of it. But anyway, let's move on to a match that I want to talk about, and that is Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode and maybe Jinder Mahal. Mahal hasn't been announced officially for that match, but certainly seems like it's going that way. Now, here's and I guess since we are in the generation of hot takes everywhere, this is my hot take on this match. Why is this happening? 6 months.
That's not a hot take at all.
Well,
I feel the same way.
Let me finish. 6 months ago, weren't we seeing Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal fighting over the most prestigious title in the history of professional wrestling? Yes. Weren't they fighting over the WWE Championship? And now, the same exact feud, for the same exact reasons, has been relegated to the U.S. Championship. And the only thing that makes this any different from 6 months ago was the fact that they are dragging down all the momentum Bobby Roode has from NXT and what little he has built being misused on SmackDown. This is a terrible booking idea. Roode should have never dropped the U.S. Championship. Randy Orton should be in the Battle Royal. Jinder Mahal should be in Impact. That's just my feeling. Jaime, am I wrong?
Well, you make a good point, but you also have to consider that Bobby Roode's best work is as a heel. And right now, they're just looking for the right time. So I'm not a fan of the booking as well. I agree with what you have just said. But they're just finding, for me, my opinion is they're just finding the right timing to turn Roode heel.
Yeah, but you said it yourself. Bobby Roode does his best work as a heel. Is him fighting Randy Orton, somebody the fans have been, at best, lukewarm about over the last almost a decade, and Jinder Mahal, who is somebody the fans have been, if anything, they don't care about him if they're not booing him completely out of the arena, and he's got to fight both of them guys. It just doesn't make any sense.
After what Bobby Roode has done,
not supposed to be there.
Okay, Dan?
After what Bobby Roode has done, basically this is a heel and two tweeners.
Yeah, I agree, and it's terrible. And adding the United States Championship doesn't make this special. It
makes sense. So the thing I can say is if you wanted to do Orton Roode at Mania, it's okay to give Orton that belt, to make him the Grand Slam champion, to give him that Grand Slam. He deserves it. He deserves to have that prestige.
Absolutely, he does. 13-time world champion. Yeah, he does.
So he deserves that. So I'm okay with I was okay with Roode dropping the belt. What I'm not okay with is Jinder being in this feud.
I still think Jinder has no place in the WWE. I understand they were in that race with Impact that, let's call a spade, they lost.
Impact won.
Yeah, they had that race to the tropical subcontinent of India. But there's no place for him. There's no place for him to be at the top of the card, especially on SmackDown. There's no place for him in the mid card on SmackDown because of all the talent there. And I mean, when I look at this match, there is way too much talent for this to be on the pre-show, but this is a pre-show match.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is. But let's move on.
I'm running through the match in my head here, right? Because my immediate reaction wanted to be like, no, you're wrong. But, no, you're right.
I mean, this is a pre-show match.
Yeah.
Speaking of another match that could make its way to the pre-show, let's talk about the Raw Tag Team Championship.
No way that shows on the pre-show.
Really?
Braun Strowman is in that match. There's no way that shows in the pre-show.
Okay, so...
just because Braun's in it.
Fine. I went through all the WrestleMania cards and putting together my WrestleMania stat pack in preparation for the show of shows. Most WrestleManias average about 11 matches to the card, with 2 to 3 being on the pre-show. We have 11 matches announced, plus the inevitable John Cena-Undertaker match to make 12. Let's say they go 10, they're going to have to put at least 2, let's call it 3, because of at least 1, maybe 2 Battle Royals going on at WrestleMania. We can assume that the Andre the Giant Battle Royal is going on the pre-show, like it did last year.
Yes.
Can we assume the Cruiserweight Championship will be on the pre-show?
Yes.
Yes, it will.
Okay. We got to put one more on the pre-show. What is it? It's obviously not Brock and Roman.
Women's Battle Royal.
You think that's going on the pre-show too? After
Yes.
all the build-up they had, after all the controversy they have, after all the names in the business that are going to be in there, they're going to put one of the most highly hyped, tongue twister, matches on the card on the pre-show. No.
Yeah. Hold on. Did I miss something?
What do you mean?
What names are in there? Have they already been announced?
No. So far it's just Carmella. But, I mean, come on. The entire women's roster is going to be in there. Plus, I'm willing to bet every time the WWE does some of these Battle Royals, we're going to get some surprise entrants.
Yeah, we're going to get a surprise entrance, sure.
I don't think we're going to get as many as we saw in the Royal Rumble, but
no,
I wouldn't put it out of the possibility to see somebody like maybe Queen Rebecca, since everybody's talking about total deletion or final deletion or whatever it's called. I don't think Trish Stratus is out of the realm of possibility. Lita, maybe you see Tori Wilson, or maybe even Stacy Keibler and those luscious legs come back. I don't think it's going on the pre-show. It's obvious KO and Sami Zayn aren't going to be on there. Flair and Asuka aren't going to be on there. Alexa and Nia aren't going to be on there.
SmackDown titles?
Is it Orton and Rude and Jinder, or Cesaro and Sheamus and Braun and whoever his partner is?
What about the SmackDown tag titles?
Yeah,
Hasn't been announced yet.
Tag title.
That was one of the 2 matches. We still have to talk about that and the Battle Royal, and we didn't even get to Cena's match. So they really have 3 matches left to announce. So we're looking at 14 on the card. So if they put 10, now we got to put a 4th one in there. So we're saying SmackDown tag titles, 205 Live, Men's Battle Royal, and Orton and Rude?
I just don't... Yeah.
Let me just throw in this idea. They could actually put Alexa Bliss, despite it being the Raw Women's Championship, they can actually put Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax on the pre-show. Because remember, if they could put something as big as Neville versus Austin Aries on the pre-show, they could also do the same for any lower title than the world title or the universal title.
Yeah, but Jaime...
Wasn't that IC title on the pre-show last year, too, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, Ambrose won it. But Jaime, what you're forgetting is everybody wanted to see Neville and Austin Aries, but it was still for the Cruiserweight Championship. A belt that isn't worth the metal and leather it's made of. Nobody cares about 205 Live.
Live, by the way.
What's that?
That experience was horrible live.
Well, yeah,
that match live.
Nobody was there.
I mean, I was there, and the glare from the sun through the whole pre-show was horrible.
That's why I've said it once, and I'll say it again. WrestleMania should not be in an open-air stadium. And they're going back to New York next year. Which is ridiculous. WrestleMania could be snowed out next year. WrestleMania could be snowed out next year. It is entirely possible they get snow in New York in April. It is entirely possible WrestleMania could be snowed out. Like, why? Why in New York? Of all places. What's wrong with Madison Square Garden? I know it doesn't have enough seats, but just wow. Anyway, we're getting off topic. We got more matches to break down. Triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. The match I am most excited about now that I'm not trolling. Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Who do you got, Jaime?
I'm going with The Miz.
Dan?
Finn.
As much as I love The Miz, I think Dan's right here with Finn because the merchandise. Mark my words, the Balor Club, the OG BGs, they're going to be the story of the 3 months after WrestleMania.
ODBC.
OGBC? Is that... What is it now? I don't know.
OGBC.
Okay, whatever. But they're going to be the story after WrestleMania. And Finn's got to have a belt of some sort. So, that's where I'm going.
I'm buying that shirt, by the way.
I think I am too. I will say one thing. The WWE's design team gotten a lot better here as of late.
Absolutely.
So we're just going to skip over this match then? We're just going to assume Jaime's wrong? Do you want to defend yourself, Jaime? Do you want to...
Jaime, we're moving on. You don't need to defend yourself. You're wrong.
Okay. Fine.
Jaime, you could have defended yourself, man.
Jaime doesn't want to defend himself?
So here's my other reason why I think Miz.
I'll just believe it when I see it because I'm buying into The Miz right now, and Seth and Finn, they could actually go against each other for another money's worth of feud, or they could actually tag with each other depending on who Strowman's teammate's going to be, because they're definitely going to win the titles against the Bar at Mania.
Okay. All right. I get what you're saying, Jaime.
Hold on. So really quick, another reason why I think he's wrong with The Miz is I think The Miz has earned time off when his baby comes.
I would say that's fair, but
so
we're gonna table this subject for just this second because I'm watching the USA Network right now, and they just ran a promo for John Cena's new movie, which I guess is called Blockers, because they can't...
Yeah. Tina Fey.
Now, no, I don't think she's in this one. But the one thing the only reason I'm going to go see this movie is because I want to see John Cena butt chug.
Yes. That's hilarious. Every time I see the movie name pop up on TV, I just die in laughter because it's definitely called Blockers and there's a rooster butt.
Yeah. The trailer's hilarious.
I'm just saying, how long until John Cena gets back in the ring after this movie premieres? Does this come up in a promo? That he's going to have a feud with somebody, and this comes up.
I wish that he did not have a type of feud with Elias yet, because this is such an Elias type promo.
Yeah.
You know what? I can honestly hear Jericho doing something like this.
Yeah, but when does Jericho come back?
Well, I mean, maybe after the cruise of Jericho. I hope maybe he comes back around SummerSlam, maybe promotes a new Fozzy tour, comes back, feuds with John Cena at SummerSlam, then they both go away. John Cena retires, and then he and The Rock get inducted together at WrestleMania next year. Big headlines, and it would be great. Maybe throw The Undertaker in there too and just have a star-studded Hall of Fame class. I think it would be perfect. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
I need some of whatever you smoked tonight.
Buddy, you have no idea. Anyway, let's bring some women into this. Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax. I have a sneaky suspicion, and I know we call this at every pay-per-view, and we say, oh, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It seems like Alexa's going to cheat her way into keeping the belt only for Carmella to come down after Nia just destroys Alexa and cash in. She has to do it here at WrestleMania, right? She can't keep it very much longer.
Mella? You think Mella's going to cash in on Alexa?
I think that's actually a good idea because isn't Cass coming back anytime soon and they could make a faction, the two of them?
Oh, what if Cass is Braun's tag team partner?
Didn't Cass and Carmella break up?
Did they?
Pretty sure.
I wonder
I'm like 90% sure on that.
I wonder who cheated on who.
Probably Mella.
Did she cheat on him with Ellsworth?
Jesus, I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
That's what I was about to say.
What if?
But I mean, actually, it makes the most sense for her to cash in on Alexa because not ending anytime soon.
But
that's probably going till next WrestleMania with when Rousey takes the belt from Asuka.
Oh my gosh! What if Cass was coming back from like physical therapy and he walks in and they're doing it doggy style? You know, because he was a dog and had a collar. Screw you, that's funny. Anyway, no, I completely agree with you on that. Rousey's gonna beat Asuka eventually, but I mean, sure.
What if they were doing it doggy style, but Ellsworth still had on the collar with the leash?
That's why it's doggy style. Hello.
No. Go into this a little. Think about this a little bit deeper, Ed.
She had the leash too. I mean, we're going down a rabbit hole that doesn't need to be. We just need to back up. Jaime, you had a question. Why is Rousey going to beat Asuka?
Why does it have to be Rousey? I understand that she's a mega star in the MMA world. She might know already a thing or two about wrestling. She might actually surpass expectations. But why Rousey? Why not someone who has already made Asuka doubt her talents in the past, like Ember Moon?
Because
once Ember gets called up, because she's gonna drop that belt sometime.
Jaime, because Ronda Rousey is the only star big enough. If Charlotte Flair Charlotte Flair is not going to beat her. But if Charlotte Flair, arguably the biggest female star in wrestling outside of Asuka, does not beat Asuka, the only bigger star is going to be Ronda Rousey. That's the only way Vince is going to be able to rationalize this streak ending. It better be a big star, because if they go the cattle prod route and it's somebody the equivalent of Scott Hall to Goldberg, it's going to be disgusting. And you're going to lose a lot of fans because of it.
So you're betting that Rousey's going to win the Women's Rumble next year?
I don't know if it's going to last that long. I'm thinking maybe it'll go to not Survivor Series, but SummerSlam. Yeah, I'm thinking it may end at SummerSlam to build up the rematch at WrestleMania, because the video packages just write themselves. I mean, she's going to avenge her streak. She's going to get her title back. Rousey's fighting for glory. Nobody's so much as knock Rousey down in a match. And now Asuka's going to come in to avenge everything she lost. And it'll make Rousey into that semi kind of heel that I think her character is going to wind up being. I think that's going to be one of the main events at WrestleMania next year. Asuka avenging her streak against Ronda Rousey.
But what if we're wrong? What if the trade...
Okay. So this is what makes the most sense, right?
logically, you think about it. Asuka's a Raw superstar challenging for the SmackDown belt.
Okay.
Carmella has the Money in the Bank case. She cashes in on Alexa at WrestleMania. There's your swap, right? There's your championship swap. Boom. Female star, female star, female star, female star.
Dan.
So now Mella's on what?
No, I'm going to stop you right here. They can't do this because the belts are different colors.
Yeah.
They can't do this.
Mella goes to Raw.
Carrying the Raw Women's Championship, which is red, to the SmackDown blue brand.
No. She wins the title, she stays on Raw.
Oh! Yeah, no. Although...
And then Rousey's going to eventually get the title off of Mella.
Huh.
Yeah.
And here's your heel faction for the women's. It's going to be Bayley and Carmella.
What? That is disgusting.
Wait a minute. Since you've spoken about factions, let me throw in a suggestion. What if the 4 horsewomen of NXT face the 4 horsewomen of MMA?
Yeah, that's
you got
happening in Survivor Series. That's going to happen in Survivor Series.
Marina Shafir's already hanging out at the Performance Center due to being Roderick Strong's fiance. They only have to get Jessamine Duke in. And that's a 4 horsewomen versus the other 4 horsewomen.
I'm pretty sure all 4 horsewomen are already training wrestling.
Interesting. Maybe Jaime has stumbled onto something here. I can dig it.
This has been rumored. They teased it at the Mayhem Classic.
I can dig it. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about. Have we gotten to the Raw Tag Team Championships yet?
No, but it's going to be Braun.
Okay, who's his partner?
Doesn't matter.
All right, I'm gonna throw some names out here. Jaime, you're gonna go first, and then we're gonna alternate between you and Dan. I'm gonna throw some names out here, some guys that I think it would at least be interesting. Okay, Jaime, Zack Ryder, yes or no?
No.
Dan, Dolph Ziggler, yes or no?
No.
Jaime, Big Cass, yes or no?
Yes.
Ooh, Dan. How about Dean Ambrose? Dan?
Whoa. I'm going to go with my gut reaction. No, I don't think he's ready.
Jaime, you already said yes to one. How about John Cena?
No.
Daniel, last one. Let's go. Santino Marella.
You're an idiot.
All right, Dan. We heard Jaime say it could be Big Cass. Who do you think it should be?
I don't know.
Maybe a debuting superstar?
Maybe Elias.
Maybe somebody like a former WWE superstar that spent
Maybe a guy named Lashley?
Maybe. Or maybe a guy that was an Impact World Champion for like a day. That
ADR?
Maybe. Maybe.
How about
he's still under contract.
Oh no, his contract is over, sir.
Really?
Yep. In fact, unconfirmed Twitter reports have certain names being kicked around for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal as surprise entrants, such as Bobby Lashley, Alberto Del Rio,
C.
and, are you ready for this? Goldberg.
No, we're not getting Goldberg in the Andre Major. That's not happening.
Hey, I'm just saying, certain names have been kicked around in unconfirmed reports. All right. Let's go to a pre-show match. Cedric Alexander versus the winner of Drew Gulak or Mustafa Ali. Who we liking here between Gulak and Ali? Dan, do you care?
Gulak.
Jaime?
Gulak. I've always been a fan of Drew Gulak since he arrived in the WWE, so yeah.
Yeah,
Drew
but
Gulak.
To be fair, you've also been a fan of Baron Corbin, and look how that's turned out for you. So, who wins that match, since you both are going Gulak?
Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, it's Alexander. It's Longju.
No. It's going to be Drew Gulak simply because he is my spirit animal. No fly zone, no frills, just wrestling. Love the guy. Love everything about him. If I could be a professional wrestler, I would be Drew Gulak. And I would wear his
Yeah.
button. If they sold his button on the WWE Network, on shopzone.com or whatever it's called, I'm all about it. I'd buy it. I'd wear it. Maybe even put a sticker on my hard hat. I don't know. Anyway, so you both are picking Alexander.
Yeah.
That was what we said, wasn't it?
Fair enough. Let's go Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Steph. Who we got?
Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, that's predictable. Angle Rousey's gonna win it.
Over under the entrances are I got my betting things wrong. I'm giving you guys 2-1 odds that the entrances will be longer than the actual match.
I'll take the match length.
Jaime, you agree?
I'll take the match length.
All right, fair enough. I don't think this one's going longer than 6 minutes, to be honest. And if it does, it'll be the bell ringing, and there'll be 2 to 3 minutes of standing around, circling the ring, letting the crowd cheer, and
Shoving each other.
it'll be very, very short on anything coming anywhere close to actual wrestling. I don't think that's much of a stretch. But let's move on. All right. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I want to hear a winner from you, Daniel.
Baron Corbin.
He won last year, didn't he? Or no, Big Show won
Mojo
last year.
Rawley. That was Mojo.
Oh, yeah, very true. Have they already done 4 of these?
Yeah, Cesaro. Cesaro was the inaugural. Or Yoshitatsu. I forgot who was the inaugural winner.
It was Cesaro. So they've done 5 of these. They've done 5 of these because it was Cesaro, Big Show's won 1,
Big Show.
Corbin's won 1, and then Mojo Rawley's won 1. So this is number 5? I guess it is. So,
I suppose.
Dan,
I seem to remember Yoshitatsu winning a Battle Royal.
but I don't think it was that one. It could have been like an entrance to the Royal Rumble or something like that. But you're going to stick with Baron Corbin.
I mean, I don't know who else to think. They kind of surprised us with this one. I think this is always a pure shocker and a winner, but Dolph Ziggler. I'm actually gonna go with Dolph.
Jaime, who do you pick?
Corbin has won it. Rawley has won it. Actually, I don't have a choice at the moment.
You guys are missing
Depends. Might be a surprise entrant.
You guys are missing the obvious one. And I can't believe you guys are not walking with Elias.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Elias is going to win this thing.
That's a good choice.
He's got so much steam. And by the way, John Cena just came out and he shook the hand of Jonathan Coachman. I'm not sure if that's a throwback kind of thing or if that's just disgusting. But either way, it happened. And we have to live with it. All right. Switching gears. Speaking of John Cena, looks like he's going to face The Undertaker. Who wins?
Taker.
Jaime?
Cena.
Ooh,
Cena.
I guess I'm breaking the tie here. And I'm going with my man, John Cena. Because I'm just tired of seeing The Undertaker. I mean, how long does he have to spend in the hospital after this one?
Well, it's John Cena's fault
How is it John Cena's fault?
because he called him out.
No.
John Cena took care of his body for all 40 years of his life.
No, I'm sorry. This is not John Cena's fault. This is Vince McMahon's
John
fault.
Cena called him out.
Come into the real world, Dan. This is not John Cena's fault. This is Vince McMahon's fault for not having John Cena in a position for him to win his 17th world title and then promptly retire the next night, drop the belt, go off to Hollywood, and be done. And retire like he should, on top, as the best ever, and be done. Let him go make movies, let him retire, put him in the Hall of Fame next year, make it a big thing. He can go host Blue's Clues and screw around on Nickelodeon all he wants and just say goodbye. The Undertaker said goodbye last year and should have stayed. The dead man should have stayed dead. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're right. That's actually why I'm picking Cena. So I gotta say you're right.
All right, I'm missing John Cena's promo right now because we're talking, so let's try to wrap this up. Women's Battle Royal. Dan, give me a winner.
Peyton Royce.
Jaime.
Ember Moon.
Well, you should have went with Billy Kay.
Hold on. Dan, are you saying Peyton Royce because she got bolted on here recently?
I cannot confirm or deny that.
And tattooed on.
Jaime.
I cannot confirm or deny that.
Jaime, you're going with Ember Moon?
Yeah, she was advertised for the match.
I honestly think we may see... Well, let's go through with who's probably going to be in there. Sasha and Bayley are going to eliminate each other, and that's going to complete the turn on each other, and that's going to advance forward. Natty is irrelevant. I don't know how many of Paige's, whatever they're called. What is her faction called?
Absolution.
It's absolutely dumb. I don't think they're going to factor in. Maybe Ruby Riott gets... I think she's got a realistic shot, but I don't think there's anybody else in the Riot squad that is going to do anything of substance. Who does that really leave? That's not already in a match?
Becky Lynch. Yep, Becky Lynch. I'm changing. Becky Lynch is my answer.
Damn it, Dan. All right, so you got Becky Lynch. Jaime, we heard your pick. I'm gonna agree with Dan. I think it's Becky. Jaime,
Makes the most sense.
Would you like to defend your pick, or do you want to agree with us?
No, I'm only picking... Becky's a good choice, but I'm only picking Ember Moon because this is going to be her way up the main roster. That's how Baron Corbin went up. That's how Ember Moon's got to go up.
Ooh. Sexy pick, Jaime. I like it. All right. The last match that's been announced that we haven't talked about is probably the one that's going to steal the show. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. I'm going to give you multiple choices here, fellas. Does Daniel Bryan interfere?
Yes.
Jaime?
Yes.
No.
I like it.
Since no one can see us, I'm going to describe what just happened. I said yes, doing the arm motions, and then Jaime responded, doing the arm motions, saying no. So just so you guys know, we stayed in kayfabe.
I'm here, can confirm. Shane McMahon, does he interfere?
No.
All right, it's getting old. Jaime, yes or no? Just one time.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Interesting. So Jaime thinks it's going to be Shane. Dan thinks it's going to be Daniel Bryan. Do we see some chicanery here? Does this become something akin to a no-holds-barred match? Think it's logical, right?
Become. Yeah.
Although, will we see that in the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar thing? Is that going to happen?
No.
You don't think so?
Possible, actually, because we've already seen this once at Mania. So they might do something to spice it up.
Okay.
What makes it possible is because when we saw the Lesnar Reigns match once in Mania, it was dull up until Seth Rollins came in. So you have to put something in there to add some flavor, to make it watchable. So it could possibly be a no holds barred. Makes a better story.
I think we're going to see one of those two matches be in there. But we're going to see. So that's going to break down everything that we have on the WrestleMania card. So now let's talk about I guess they're doing it on the Friday before WrestleMania. And that is the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2018. So, let's go through some of the names that have been announced. We got another name announced here today, Mark Henry. Let's start there, okay? One-time world champion, one-time ECW champion, one-time European champion. He is the father of the hand, known as Sexual Chocolate. Instead of the Hall of Pain, he's going into the Hall of Fame. Are you guys okay with this?
Absolutely.
Jaime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Let's talk about Kid Rock.
Can someone fill me in? What has Kid Rock done? At least Donald Trump took the stuff.
He's
But with the band, the diggy diggy dig.
he's performed at several WWE events, including a Monday Night Raw in 2000, live at WrestleMania 25, and the tribute to the troops in 2012. He's provided entrance themes for The Undertaker for about 6 months when he was the American Badass before they went to Limp Bizkit, and he was also sang Stacy Keibler. Wow,
Kibler?
long night, folks. Stacy Keibler's entrance theme when she was going with Legs, which, by the way, awesome song. I prefer the ZZ Top version. That's just me. He's also had official pay-per-view themes on a number of events. So, as a musical act, he's there. I mean,
Okay, since you gave me all that information, yeah, I'm fine with it.
All right, Jaime, you okay with this?
Yeah, but how come he beat Lemmy? He beat Motorhead to it.
I think it may be too soon. There may still be some scars there, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll see. But I think Kid Rock. Plus, I mean, they announced it in Detroit. I think it was a logical way to go. Hillbilly Jim, 30 plus years in the WWE, former tag team champion, was a part of the first WrestleMania. He's in, right? I mean, nobody's got an issue with this.
No,
No.
they need guys like him
Okay.
to fill these years.
All right. We're going to skip over the Warrior Award recipient because obviously little JJ, he earned it. Here's a name that I never thought was going to get in the history of professional wrestling, and that is Double J. JEFF JARRET. Four-time WCW heavyweight champion, six-time WWF Intercontinental champion, second most reigns behind that of Chris Jericho. Credited by the WWE for promoting shows that gave future WWE superstars like AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, and Eric Young their first major exposure. All of those, let's see, how many words is that? 20? Could have been limited down to started TNA. Never thought this would happen. Are y'all okay with Double J making it in there?
If they are trying to turn this into a professional wrestling Hall of Fame, absolutely. If not, I don't think he's done enough for the WWE to be in.
Six-time Intercontinental Champion? Tag Team Champion?
What is your most memorable memory of Jeff Jarrett in World Wrestling Federation or Entertainment?
I got two, and that is the introduction to the Roadie, who later became Jesse James, who later became Road Dogg Jesse James, who later became the Road Dogg, who also I have ripped off at the entrance to the show, and Raw is Owen, his tearful speech, I guess, with dedicating everything to Owen Hart because he was Owen Hart's tag team partner. So, those are my two memories of him.
Man, you're going to make me sound like an ass now because you just brought up the Owen thing. But what did he do for the WWE?
Six-time Intercontinental Champion. Only behind Chris Jericho. That's enough.
I don't think so.
Jaime? I mean, if you're putting Hillbilly Jim in there, why not Jeff Jarrett? I mean, seriously. Jaime, do you agree or disagree?
I actually have no qualms about Jeff Jarrett going into the WWE Hall of Fame, so I'm good with it. That's why I'm not talking when you two were arguing whether Jeff Jarrett deserves it or not. Because I have no problem with him going in.
Fair enough. Let's talk about the next entrant. 3-time WWF Women's Champion and 1-time Glow Champion, Ivory.
She absolutely deserves to be in.
Okay, 3-time Women's Champion versus a 6-time Intercontinental Champion. Are you high?
Not yet.
Fair enough. Jaime, agree, disagree?
Yeah, Ivory's got a spot there because she was one of the women's division back when it was still the women's division.
Back when women's wrestling was... Okay, I am thoroughly convinced that is Bull Buchanan. We're watching a replay of Roman Reigns committing 3 Class A felonies by beating up federal marshals, which is totally illegal, and one of them totally looks like Bull Buchanan. So, I'm sorry, it bothers me to no end. Let's talk about the next entrance into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2018. They are 8-time WWF or World Tag Team Champions, 1-time WWE Tag Team Champions, 8-time ECW Tag Team Champions, 1-time WCW Tag Team Champions, multiple-time TNA Tag Team Champions, and Bubba Ray is a former TNA World Champion. Of course, I'm talking about those damn boys from Dudleyville, the Dudley Boys.
And don't forget, Bubba Ray is also a one-time Ring of Honor 6-man champion.
Let's talk about titles that matter. And Ring of Honor doesn't matter. I'm not sure if you were sneezing for effect or if you actually have a cold, but either way, it fit. Dan, you got a problem with the Dudleys?
No, if anybody has a problem with... I mean, if you have a problem with the Dudleys, I'm hanging up on you, by the way. Like, I have the button on hang up right now.
Jaime, do you have a problem with the Dudleys?
Yeah, I was just about to say that if there's a perfectly timed Hall of Fame induction, this is one of it. The Dudleys.
I completely agree with you. Now, just off the top of your head, without looking at it, I'm not sure if either of you guys know, who should induct the Dudley Boys?
It's got to be Paul Heyman.
Jaime?
Yeah.
No. Nope, it is not. And I am going to give you, guys with the benefit of flash photography, a 5-second pose. Because we reek of awesomeness. Edge and Christian are going to induct Bubba Ray and D-Von.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not. No. It should have been. Oh my gosh. Spike Dudley could have done it. Paul Heyman could have done it. Tommy Dreamer. Rob Van Dam. Sabu.
Is it already confirmed that Edge and Christian are...
Yes, it is confirmed. They are inducting them. It is confirmed. They will be doing it. But there should have been so many other people to do this. I'm okay with Edge and Christian being there. I really am. It makes sense because of, the whole TLC thing and, Jeff and Matt being Jeff and Matt nowadays. It makes sense that those two do it. But I would have much rather seen Tommy Dreamer up there. Or it should have been Paul Heyman. It really should have been Paul Heyman. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I really think I'm not wrong there. All right. Last one. 1-time WCW World Heavy... What? Wait, what? He was only a 1-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion? 1-time World Heavyweight Champion of the WWE. 1-time WWE Universal Champion. 2-time WCW United States Heavyweight Champion. Recognized as having 173 straight wins in WCW. Of course, I am talking about one Bill Goldberg. Nobody's got a problem with this, right?
No.
Does anybody else find it shocking that, like I did, that he only held the WCW championship one time?
I think it was a really long title reign, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was. He beat Hogan at the Georgia
The
Dome.
disaster that was the disaster that was, what was that, Halloween Havoc?
No, that was on a Monday Nitro.
Oh, that's right, because the whatever it was, it was the pay-per-view before that they screwed up. I think the pay-per-view before that they screwed up was Halloween Havoc, right? It was the day before?
No. The Finger Poke of Doom, I believe, came before that when... No, because I forget how it goes, but it had something to do with Nash and Hogan with a little trickery on who had the belt, because Nash was the champion and he offered the match to Hogan, but Hogan couldn't compete, so they just filled in Goldberg or something
But
like that.
didn't Nash become the one to deal Goldberg his first loss?
Technically, yes, but a big assist went to Scott Hall in the cattle prod.
Yeah, but wasn't it for the title?
Yes, it absolutely was. Because I believe at the time he was not only WCW champion, he was also the US champ. I believe. I'm not sure. I think they may have had J.J. Dillon force him to give up the US championship. Nitro was really crazy at that time. And keeping up with them, they changed titles more than Dan changes his underwear, which...
We digress, and I do that more than twice a day.
Oh, yeah. You know, I heard streak marks are a big deal, so... Anyway, we're about out of time here on our year-long episode. We've just given you a complete and utter breakdown of WrestleMania weekend. Of course, skipping NXT because we're not really sure what's going to happen on NXT. It's still very much up in the air, and that is a very good thing. So, we're going to give you a little bit of house cleaning right now before we close out the show. This will be our last show on SoundCloud. As of, well, let's just call it WrestleMania, we are moving to a different platform to record the show. We're hoping it will be cheaper and give us the ability to get on iTunes. So those 6 of you that have been with us from the very beginning, thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
And we're hoping we can get you guys to where you can actually download this show and take it with you instead of streaming us on a dying website like SoundCloud. So we're looking to make this show better after a whole year. Also, we would like to send special thanks to the 2 guys that were as much of a part of the show for a while as the 3 of us. And that is Alex, the unfunny comedian on Twitter. Not sure if you still listen to us, but if you do, we'd love to have you back, at least for an episode or 2, if you can work it into your incredibly busy schedule. We'd love to have you back, brother. And I know pretty much for a fact he doesn't listen to us anymore, but I'm going to take you back to a time. In fact, it was probably 380 days or so. I was working in a guard shack with a Beano Long, and he came up with the idea of, let's do a podcast. And it was a very different show than what we have right now. And slowly but surely, we built the show. And I remember I had to go to Gur Samuel and get permission to put it on Real Sport. And when I made the announcement to the Facebook wrestling group that we have for Real Sport, I got an instant message almost immediately from Dan. We brought Dan in on the first episode. Dan's been a part of the show ever since. When Beano flaked out on us after the first episode, we brought in Jaime. And short of an episode here or there, the 3 of us have been together for the last year. And I can honestly say I have never met 2 greater wrestling fans and greater people than my co-hosts for this show. And I would like to thank you guys for not just being co-hosts of the show, but my very good friends. So thank you.
What a lot of people don't know is my schedule got really crazy, and Ed made this show work for me. He's the one that kept me around, because when we went through the whole kayfabe part of him and I, and we were going through a legal battle, my schedule was just really crazy, and Ed made it work for me. We record these shows at crazy times sometimes, and Ed does a lot of the behind the scenes work. And I just want to thank you, Ed, for making this possible and keeping this going.
Well, I mean, after all, it is my show. But we also have to give a special shout out to Jaime, who, short of screwing us over on Thursday, has been
Never has done that. Never. The only time we were legitimately worried. As much as a hard time as I give you two, you guys are definitely like brothers.
Yeah.
Besides Jaime flaking out that one time, and I said to Ed, I was like, man, I hope he's okay. I think I'm gonna turn on the news to see if something happened to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Like I was legitimately worried.
It turned out Jaime just had some stuff going on, but he's always been flexible for us, willing to record at all hours of the night over there in the land that God forgot in the Philippines. So, Jaime, we'd like to thank you as well. But before
I'd also like to thank you guys. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Dan. Especially you, Ed. Back a year ago, when I started writing for Real Sport, I also wanted to start a podcast to compete with some of the smarts here in the Philippines who feel like they could also do their own. But I didn't know where to start. I didn't know where to go. But when a spot opened up here in the podcast, I immediately answered. So thank you, Ed, for giving me this opportunity. I've enjoyed it. We've had a brotherly bond despite us always making fun of Dan's love life and he's inside his pants. So
yeah, that is
Thank
very
you, guys.
true. But one thing we have to say, we've all grown as individuals and as wrestling fans. I kind of watch Ring of Honor every now and again. Dan's got himself a girlfriend, and we're still not quite sure what Jaime does for money, but he's still here, and that is a great thing. So for all of us here on the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast, we'd like to thank you for those of you that have listened to us for the last year. The next time you're going to hear from the three of us, besides Dan's side projects and me doing things for the newspaper I write for, and Jaime being Jaime, the next time you hear from us will be the week after WrestleMania, when we will record live during SmackDown on that Tuesday. We're hopefully going to be able to give you the first live show that will be directly uploaded to Podbean, where you're actually going to hear our reactions to the whole 2-hour show. We may not go 2 hours, we may do the last hour, we may do it after. We're still in some production meetings about that, but you're going to hear from us the week after WrestleMania. You're going to get our breakdown of the card, our breakdown of the Raw after Mania, and maybe even a little stuff about the SmackDown after Mania. But that's going to be all for us here on the final show of our inaugural year on the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast. And we're going to end this show the way we have ended every show. So, as always, if you're not down with the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast, I have 2 words for you. Keep listening.